Who is the greatest point guard of all time? If you are an NBA fan, this is a question you've heard, read, or contemplated more than once. And while the answer continuously has been Magic Johnson for a while, certain members of the field may be catching him. In this video, I'm going to list you the top 10 point guards of all time. What's poppin' peeps? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for stopping by. It is highly appreciated. Before you get further into this video, be sure to subscribe with those bell notifications on if you're new here to keep up with every single upload on this channel. Without further ado, let's get right into this. Starting things off at number 10 is Isiah Thomas. He was never particularly efficient, but his defense and leadership more than made up for some of his flaws. Plus, he was on stacked teams with players who were made better by his sheer presence, so in a way, he actually earned more win shares than he produced solely as an individual. This is a rare win for the eye test over numbers crowd, but the two camps don't need to be completely at odds when it comes to Thomas. Common ground can be found when examining his playoff numbers. Thomas's 6.4 playoff box plus/minus is far better than his regular season mark, and it ranks 12th all time, 6th among point guards. His basic postseason numbers of 20.4 points, 8.9 assists, and 2.1 steals are unmatched across league history. And if you relax the qualifiers to 20 points, 8 assists, and 2 steals, Chris Paul is the only name added to the list. Up next is Russell Westbrook. A few years ago, Oscar Robertson's distinction as the only player in NBA history to average a triple-double seemed untouchable. Russell Westbrook broke that record in each of his last few seasons, and when you adjust the numbers for both players so that pace and playing time line up, Westbrook's achievement is even more impressive. When he played for the Oklahoma City Thunder, he averaged 99.1 possessions per game. At that pace, Westbrook's 35.7 minutes per game converts to about 73.7 possessions. And he averaged 26.8 points, 10.6 rebounds, and 10.4 assists in those possessions. At number 8 is Steve Nash. You might get a few differences here or there, but in general, a coach would tell you that part of a point guard's job is to run the offense. There's a reason the floor general cliche exists, even if it's not quite as important in today's largely positionless game. In the early 2000s, Steve Nash was the NBA's general pattern. For more than a decade, if Nash was your point guard, you were almost guaranteed a top-tier offense. His knack for getting into the paint or dribbling and U-turning through it, and finding cutters or shooters at the exact right moment made him one of the league's most prolific assist men. At number 7 is Jason Kidd. Long before Russ made us numb to triple-doubles, Jason Kidd helped make them popular. If you combine the regular season and playoffs, Kidd had a whopping 118 triple-doubles, which trails only Robertson, who had 189, Magic Johnson, who had 168, and Westbrook, who had 148. That all-around game made Kidd one of the league's top point guards for nearly 20 years. By the time he was done, he had racked up 10 All-Star appearances, 9 All-Defense selections, 6 All-NBA selections, and 5 assist titles. Up next is John Stockton. John Stockton is the only player with more assists and steals than Kidd, and Kidd isn't even close. The distance between Stockton's 15,806 assists and Kidd's 12,091 is about the same as the distance between Kidd and 11th place Andre Miller. There's a similar gap in steals. Stockton's lead over Kidd there is around the same as Kidd's buffer between himself and 11th place Alvin Robertson. And with regard to those assists, no, they weren't just the product of home cooking from the scorekeeper as the long-running myth suggests. At number 5 is Chris Paul. If this ranking was based on nothing but advanced numbers, Paul would top the list. Paul's ability to put the ball on time and on target to shooters and alley-oop threats did wonders for the careers of David West, JJ Redick, DeAndre Jordan, and Blake Griffin, just to name a few. And like Nash, Paul's prowess as a shooter forces defenders to play him tight in pick and rolls. Over the course of his career, he has shot 47.1% on 2-pointers from 5 feet and out. Dropping in at number 4 is Jerry West. Some may consider Jerry West a shooting guard, but Basketball Reference has him listed as a point guard for 12 of his 14 seasons. And his 9.7 assists per game in 1971 to 1972 absolutely led the NBA. Either way, West is more than a legend, he's the logo. By the time West retired in 1974, he was a 14-time All-Star. He played only 14 seasons, by the way, a 12-time All-NBA selection, and a 5-time All-Defense selection. He won a title in 1972 and was the only Finals MVP to come from a losing team in 1969. At number 3 is Oscar Robertson. Another player from a bygone era, the Big O was the standard bearer for this position for a roughly 2 decades before Magic came along, and the two legends share plenty in common. At 6'5", Robertson had great size for a point guard, especially when compared to others of his time. And like Magic, he collected triple-doubles at a rate we hadn't seen until Westbrook showed up. Robertson played a total of 1,126 games in the regular season and playoffs, and he notched up triple-doubles in 16.8% of them. At number 2 is Stephen Curry, and it really shouldn't be all that surprising. Curry is on track to be the most prolific offensive player in league history. Curry's point guard figuratively changes the geometry of the floor. He commands double teams 35 feet from the rim, allowing his teammates to play 4-on-3 on countless possessions over the years. Along with Michael Jordan, Dirk Nowitzki, and a handful of others, Curry is among those exceptionally rare players who truly has changed basketball. And at the number 1 spot, which I'm pretty sure everyone probably could have guessed, is Magic Johnson. While some of the numbers might favor Curry, Magic maintains a slight edge in the best point guard of all time debate by virtue of legacy points. Magic has 5 NBA titles compared to Curry's 3, and 3 final MVPs compared to Curry's 0. Magic's 12 All-Star appearances are twice as many as Curry's 6, and Magic 10 All-NBA selections are ahead of Curry's 6. There is still time for Curry to close the gap, but Magic is hanging on for now. That is it for the video, guys. Honestly, thank you so much for watching. You are freaking awesome if you've made it this far. Be sure to subscribe with those bell notifications on so you do not miss a single upload. Like this video if you enjoyed, and until next time, you guys have a great day.